We in the city are declaring Richmond a green development area. As we speak, green businesses are relocating here in Richmond. We have many existing businesses turning their emphasis into green practices.
We already have groups who are working on greening their communities, and we should not only mandate that those groups' efforts be leveraged in the new economy, but we should do our best to leverage their efforts.
People that went through our program, starting in 2003, we still have relationships with all of them. They've been hired, anywhere from river management organizations within the community, even working with private landscapers, or within groups like Natural Resources Group within the Parks Department to manage larger things. We've actually even managed our own, and we hired 2 of our own trainees to work with us as essentially ambassadors, for the greenway that we're actually working to build. The other piece I'm really proud of, is the 10% that are actually have gone on to higher education.
Rebuilder's Source, it's a retail store for used building materials. And just to see the amount of perfectly good stuff that comes in here is pretty obscene. We've got perfectly good kitchen cabinets and tubs and toilet bowls that are still in the box. If the workers are the owners, those workers are much more likely to be living in the community. You're more able to hold your neighbor accountable for something than you are some distant owner. And for the owner, there's a much less likelihood of feeling that you can just do whatever you want. And if you look at the economic end of it, you have a much greater concentration of wealth within the community.
Communities that have high rates of chronic disease need a different approach. We've assessed in West Oakland about a $30 million food market. Big vision for us is to create completely localized food systems that are regionally based, in which the majority of food that consumers in a particular region consume come from within a few hundred miles of where they live, that those consumers have direct and intimate relationships and knowledge about the farmers and how and where the food is produced, and through that are able to engage in a complete reformation of the food system with regards to environmental stewardship.
Somebody who gets into the construction trades or the electrical trades or the roofing trades, to be an experienced electrician, you have to have 10, 15 years under your belt. In solar, 2 years is considered a lot of experience. Mm-hmm. And so guys coming out from our program right now, 2, 3, 5 years from now, they're going to be the folks who are doing the management.
Once I actually got out there in the field, and I was on the roof, I'm laying racks, I'm drilling in this lady's roof, I'm actually doing this. And months ago, you could have told me that I would be on somebody's roof installing solar panels in the hot sun in the city of Richmond. That was not in my dreams. That was something that I never saw happening. And once I did it and saw the outcome and to see the other young individuals, really getting into it, it's like, you know what? This is what you need to be doing. This was your calling.
At our first press conference, one of the companies came and, had an opportunity to stand in front of the camera and say, oh, we're going to be hiring, 1,000 people in the next 3 years. Everyone's so psyched, and the media's there, the mayor is there, everybody's like, oh, you guys are great, we need you, you're, blah, blah, blah. And then nobody got hired.
If history is to be our guide, that's not much of a chance that money generated by green businesses is actually going to stay in the neighborhoods where they're needed most.
Not only have communities of color been left out of the benefits of environmental reform, but also from the process of reform. As we create policies and mandates and figure out how to best invest in the green economy, that communities of color be part of that process.
It means that there are programs in place to train people for the jobs that are out there. Working with our electeds and making sure that there's like bond issues, tax incentives and rebates, et cetera, to support that kind of investment in our communities.
Community benefit agreements are one way that communities can directly negotiate and bargain with those market players to extract benefits. And I think that's a very promising avenue here. The way it would work is this. We have a public mandate, right, that we put on a developer to build buildings in a green fashion. One thing that a community might ask for is job training, a slice of the jobs at fair wages in building that building.
The technology is here. The need for the whole country to green urban America is evident. What we have to do now is step up to the plate and say, we insist that the communities that were locked out of the last century's pollution-based economy are locked into this new clean and green economy.
If we're not looking at those communities as really beautiful treasure troves of where we can actually find the resources, which are people and the power that they have to actually do some of these jobs and create some of these businesses as well, then we're missing the boat.